Many people have asked me how I got such a big social media following, where I've had more than 100 million total reads and more than 10 million a month now readers. And what I'm going to say on this video though might disappoint some people, and that's that some of it is quite boring advice though, which actually works in business as well. Now, number one, I think one thing I have done is be totally authentic. So anyone who's known me, I think in so-called real life, would say I'm no different online to how I am offline. And I think a lot of people find that quite refreshing because, as I said a few videos ago about some social media influencers, they try to be something they're not. Whereas for me, I might have loads of faults, but I never try to be something that I'm not. And number two, I think the advice I give to a lot of people, which is not to be flash, not to show off and so on, not to try to impress other people with wealth. Again, it might be boring advice, but it's quite different to a lot of the advice you get out there. And number three, I've always been consistent. Now, the thing is, when you've got people who make these outrageous predictions, unless people out there have very short memories, they are likely to remember some of these outrageous predictions. In other words, if somebody says something like, oh, markets are going to crash next month, and then markets don't crash, then it's very hard to come back from that unless you just play the numbers game. Whereas for me, I think I've always been consistent in saying nobody can predict the future, but what we do know is X and Y factors, like markets have always gone up long term, blah, blah, blah. It's good to be diversified and so on. Some of this might be boring advice, but it's also effective advice. And number four, talking about consistency, I'm always online almost every day. So it's not like, I'm posting, 30 answers one day on social media A and then going quiet for weeks or whatever. I'm always active. That doesn't mean I'm equally active every day, but I'm always active across different social media platforms. And that's very much going to be the way longer term. Obviously things change. I might go onto different social media platforms and so on, but I always want to keep, being myself, being authentic, being real. And I think that's what people are going to want long term.